Most Americans simply want to live their lives in freedom and peace. But we are under attack in a left-wing culture war we didn't start and never wanted to fight.
Wrong. They absolutely do start culture war battles. That's what the right wing has really leaned into for decades now in lieu of any real positive policy solutions. And when it comes to reproductive rights, I think it's pretty clear that it's a right-wing war that's been waged against reproductive rights for women in America. And that's certainly the case in Arkansas, where Sarah Huckabee Sanders serves as the governor. Now, Asa Hutchinson, who's also a Republican lawmaker, ensured that there would be a ban on practically all abortions and the distribution of the abortion pill in the state of Arkansas. And now they have signed into law the ability to erect some sort of monument on behalf of aborted fetuses, because in the state that has an insanely high child poverty rate, it's much more important to focus energy on a monument as a symbol of their culture war battle. Now, the bill allows the construction of a monument to the unborn near the state's Capitol grounds. The monument will remember those children we were not able to protect, and we will not be able to forget, State Representative Mary Bentley said. Now, the bill, sponsored by GOP State Senator Kim Hammer, claims that Arkansas was prevented from protecting the life of unborn children by the decisions of the United States Supreme Court in Roe v. Wade from 1973 until it was overruled last year. Luckily, they're not going to use taxpayer money for this monument. It's going to be funded through private donations. But if they're genuinely concerned about saving children, they could start by saving the living, breathing children in Arkansas that are suffering from extreme poverty based on their terrible policies. They could start there. And I have some numbers on that, by the way. So just to give you a sense real quick, Cenk, the national child poverty rate, according to the US Census Bureau, is 16.9%. In Arkansas, it's 22.4%. 22.4%, meaning that in Arkansas, they are beating the national average on child poverty.
Yeah, they pretend to care about children though. But the Republican hero was interesting in this story.
Yes.
So we're gonna get to him in 1 second, but I wanna say this, look, it's easy to fall into traps that are emotionally charged, right? So if you're a person who considers themselves what you would say pro-life, we would say anti-choice, right? But you're in that camp and you think this is really important, and you think it's important because you've heard about the Holocaust and other atrocities that we should never forget. So that we gotta have a memorial so we never forget. Okay, so let's take that same argument and say, let's do a memorial in the middle of Arkansas, a very big one, about the lynchings of black folks in Arkansas. Because we should never forget. I mean, you would agree that's a horrible atrocity. The hangings, the burnings, the having a picnic around. And then maybe we could build a monument where white folks are having a picnic around a burned, hung body of a black person and go, well, we should never forget. We should never forget. Is that, well, that's true, right? Didn't you just say that? Oh, so we should never forget your causes, but we should forget the terrible things that happened to other folks. So no, you shouldn't do emotionally charged things that are gonna greatly inflame either side in a place where you're trying to inflame people, starting a culture war, trying to divide people and trying to create hatred and fear. So neither side should do that. This is a terrible idea overall, but amazingly, it leads to a Republican hero of sorts.
A Republican lawmaker in Arkansas is actually against this move. Anti-abortion Republican Representative Steve Uygur argued that building the monument would only escalate the divisiveness on both sides of the abortion debate. Public memorials to our nation's wars, where we face an external threat, are right and proper, Mr. Uygur said, per ABC. A memorial to an ongoing culture war where we seem to be shooting at each other is not.
Look, I couldn't agree with him more. Look at this, us agreeing with a Republican in in a very red state. So thank you, Representative Uygur. Maybe it's the closest to my name that drove the logic. That's probably it, which is a very logical point, by the way.
Cenk deserves credit for that.
Yeah, it's me. Okay, no, seriously, Republicans are overall leading this drive in Arkansas very bad. Sarah Huckabee Sanders, buffoon, and profits off of the divisions that she creates. In fact, in her State of the Union address, she basically said, I want to own the libs and they're terrible and let's make fun of them and degrade them and take away their rights. But by the way, we should have child labor.
Exactly, yes.
And we should make sure that the defense contractors get paid a lot with warmongering talk, etc. So help the companies, hurt the children while pretending to be in favor of children.
Right.
But we did find one Republican who's a good guy on this issue alone. And I'll take it. I'll take the victory.
Yeah, I mean, considering the proximity of this story to the loosening of child labor regulations in the state of Arkansas, I'm under the assumption that state lawmakers, Republicans in particular, are just looking to bolster the workforce that they can exploit later.
Yeah, well, in the case of being anti-choice, I think that's right.
Yeah.
And by the way, it's also, keep in mind, as we're giving a lot of credit to Representative Uygur, that remember, actually all the states are pro-choice. Montana and Kansas, when they actually voted, were deeply pro-choice. So he might be in a district where it's uncomfortable to have this conversation. It might cost him his seat. But I don't care. I just want the right results. And anytime I could find a reasonable sounding Republican in America, that's a good day. Okay, so don't ever say I didn't give credit to Republicans. There you go. Thanks for watching the Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.